Confidence does not begin when the world finally approves of you. It begins the moment you decide to see yourself differently. Most people spend years waiting for external proof before they believe they are capable, valuable, intelligent, or worthy of success. But the truth is that identity always comes before achievement. Inspired by the timeless teachings of Dr. Joseph Murphy, this message reminds us that the subconscious mind responds to the picture we repeatedly hold of ourselves. If you constantly imagine yourself as weak, uncertain, or unsuccessful, your actions will naturally follow that belief. However, when you intentionally create a new mental image filled with confidence, discipline, and purpose, your behavior slowly starts to align with that identity. The person you become tomorrow is deeply connected to the thoughts you accept about yourself today. Every confident individual once faced fear, doubt, rejection, and insecurity, yet they chose not to let those emotions define their future. They trained their mind to focus on possibility instead of limitation. They learned to speak to themselves with strength instead of criticism. They understood that confidence is not arrogance, and it is not perfection. Confidence is the quiet decision to trust yourself even while you continue growing. One of the most powerful habits you can develop is acting like the person you want to become before you fully feel ready. If you want to become successful, begin thinking with responsibility and discipline now. If you want to become fearless, begin taking small, courageous actions every single day. Your mind learns through repetition, and every action sends a message to your subconscious identity. This is why your daily habits matter more than temporary motivation. Motivation changes with emotion, but identity creates consistency. When you repeatedly tell yourself that you are confident, focused, and capable, and then support those words with action, you slowly reprogram the deeper patterns within your mind. Over time, the old version of yourself begins to disappear. The fear that once controlled you loses power because you're no longer emotionally attached to it. You stop asking for permission to believe in yourself. You stop waiting for the perfect moment to change your life. Instead, you begin living with intention, clarity, and purpose. Remember, your future is not created only by what you do occasionally. It is created by the identity you strengthen every day through thought, belief, and action. The moment you change your self-image, you begin changing your destiny. Even during difficult seasons, continue protecting the vision you hold within your mind. The world may not immediately recognize your transformation, but change always appears before results. Stay patient with your progress and remain loyal to the confident identity you are building. Speak, walk, and make decisions that reflect the future you desire. Dr. Joseph Murphy emphasized that the subconscious accepts repeated belief as reality, which means every thought you repeat becomes a seed in your future. Feed your mind with faith instead of fear, and your actions will reflect that belief. The greatest transformation in your life will begin when you finally understand that your mind is always listening to the story you repeat about yourself. Every thought you accept, every label you believe, and every emotion you continuously entertain becomes part of your identity over time. Many people unknowingly build an identity around failure, disappointment, fear, and insecurity because they constantly repeat negative ideas within their mind. They say things like, "I'm not confident, I always fail," or "I'm not good enough." And after repeating those thoughts long enough, the subconscious mind accepts them as truth. Inspired by the teachings of Dr. Joseph Murphy, we can recognize that the subconscious does not argue with repeated beliefs. It simply responds to what it hears most often. This is why changing your life begins with changing your inner conversation. If you want to become confident, successful, disciplined, and emotionally strong, you must first create a new mental environment within yourself. The words you speak internally matter more than most people realize because your subconscious mind quietly shapes your actions according to those beliefs. A person who believes they are capable naturally takes more action, embraces more opportunities, and recovers faster from setbacks. In contrast, someone who constantly doubts themselves hesitates, overthinks, and avoids growth because fear becomes their emotional comfort zone. The mind always moves in the direction of the strongest belief. That is why your daily focus is so important. Instead of constantly replaying past mistakes, begin visualizing the person you truly want to become. Imagine yourself walking with confidence, speaking with clarity, and handling challenges with calm determination. The more vividly you hold that image in your mind, the more familiar it becomes to your subconscious identity. Eventually, your behavior starts matching the image you repeatedly create internally. This process does not happen overnight, but every consistent thought and action slowly reshapes your identity from within. Confidence is built through repetition, not instant perfection. Every time you choose courage over fear, you strengthen the identity you desire. Every time you remain disciplined instead of giving up, you send a powerful message to your subconscious mind that you're becoming stronger. Even small actions matter because identity is not formed in one dramatic moment. It is formed through daily decisions repeated consistently over time. There will be moments when doubt tries to return, and there will be days when progress feels slow, but you must continue protecting the vision you have created for yourself. Do not allow temporary emotions to define your permanent identity. Your current circumstances do not determine your future potential. The person you are becoming is more important than the person you used to be. Dr. Joseph Murphy taught that whatever we impress upon the subconscious mind eventually expresses itself in our reality. That means your responsibility is not to obsess over fear or failure, but to repeatedly impress confidence, peace, strength, and success upon your mind until those qualities become natural parts of your character. When your inner identity changes, your external world begins changing with it, and the life you once imagined slowly becomes your reality through belief, focus, persistence, and intentional action every single day. One of the biggest mistakes people make is believing that confidence appears only after success arrives. In reality, confidence is what creates success in the first place. Long before visible results appear, a person must first develop the internal belief that they are capable of achieving something greater. Inspired by the wisdom of Dr. Joseph Murphy, we understand that the subconscious mind responds to dominant thoughts, emotional focus, and repeated mental images. If your mind is constantly filled with fear, failure, insecurity, and hesitation, your actions will naturally reflect those emotions. However, when you begin feeding your subconscious mind with confidence, faith, courage, and determination, your entire perspective starts to change. The way you speak changes. The way you carry yourself changes. Even the decisions you make begin reflecting a stronger identity. This transformation begins quietly within the mind before it becomes visible in the outer world. Many people spend their lives trapped inside an old version of themselves because they continue identifying with past failures and painful experiences. They replay old disappointments so often that those memories become part of their identity. But your past is not supposed to become your permanent definition. You are not created to remain stuck in fear, limitation, or self-doubt forever. Every single day gives you another opportunity to create a stronger version of yourself through conscious thought and intentional action. The moment you stop identifying with weakness, you begin creating room for growth. Confidence grows when you repeatedly prove to yourself that you are willing to move forward despite uncertainty. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is taking action while fear is still present. Every time you challenge discomfort, your mind slowly learns that you are stronger than the limitations you once believed. This is why daily habits are so important in building a new identity. The smallest consistent actions eventually shape your future character. Waking up with purpose, speaking positively to yourself, remaining disciplined during difficult moments, and refusing to quit after setbacks all strengthen the confident identity you are creating. Over time, these repeated actions become natural behaviors rather than forced efforts. Your subconscious mind learns through repetition, which means your daily routines are constantly teaching your mind who you believe you are. If you continue acting weak, fearful, and uncertain, your mind accepts that identity. But when you begin acting with confidence, responsibility, and focus, your subconscious slowly adapts to that new version of you. This process requires patience because true transformation is gradual. There may be moments when progress feels invisible, but internal growth is still taking place beneath the surface. Just as a seed grows underground before it becomes visible above the soil, confidence develops internally before it fully expresses itself externally. Dr. Joseph Murphy often emphasized the power of mental impressions upon the subconscious mind. What you repeatedly imagine and emotionally accept eventually influences your reality. This means you must guard your thoughts carefully and become intentional about the identity you reinforce each day. Speak to yourself with strength instead of criticism. Focus on possibilities instead of limitations. Visualize success instead of failure. The person you are becoming is shaped by what you consistently believe about yourself. Once you truly change your inner identity, your outer life begins responding to that transformation in powerful and lasting ways that gradually reshape your entire future.